Hey guys, before we start the review proper, permit me this brief anecdote to explain what's going on. See, a few years ago, it was around Halloween, I was on this little kick where I was looking up old horror movie trailers on YouTube. I got the idea to look up the trailer for the first Saw movie. I did a search, clicked on the first video, and up came the dreaded copyright strike message from Lionsgate because the video was using footage from Saw, which is a Lionsgate property. Now, here's the funny thing. The channel that got the strike was the official Lionsgate YouTube channel. Not a joke. It said Lionsgate. It had the little registered trademark symbol. It was the official Lionsgate YouTube channel. Heck, the main channel subheader said the official Lionsgate YouTube channel. Lionsgate issued a copyright strike against themselves. Now, I don't know about you, but people who issue YouTube copyright strikes against themselves are people I really don't want to mess with. So, for my Power Rangers review, instead of using screenshots from the trailer like I normally do, instead you're going to be getting pictures from the 2 issues of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic put out by Boom Studios. Thank you for your understanding. Now let's start the review. Okay, with that opening bit out of the way, here is the review of the Power Rangers film proper. It opens up with a shot in the Cenozoic era, at the time of the dinosaurs, and it's there that it's revealed that Zordon is the original Red Ranger, and Rita is the original Green Ranger. So that's kind of the first big thing right out of the gate. Rita has killed the other Rangers, but Zordon uses one last power burst to call a meteor down to knock Rita out temporarily, and Alpha 5 then sort of constructs the command center around Zordon and traps his consciousness in the command center computer. We then jump ahead to present day, where we have Jason getting arrested because he was stealing, he was a star football player who was stealing the rival mascot of another school with a couple of friends. He winds up taking the fall for it. He also destroys his knee, and basically his football career is over. He winds up having to do detention along with his community. I think it's part of his community service. He wears an ankle bracelet and house arrest. So it's then and right there we meet at the detention center. We meet Billy, who is he's on the autism spectrum, and he's in the detention because he had an experiment or something in his lunchbox, and it exploded while it was in his locker. And then Kimberly is there. Kimberly, it's not revealed until later in the film, but basically what happened is someone had sent her a selfie. I'm guessing it was a selfie of her in a, not Kimberly, but this person sent it. The selfie was in a, I guess it was in a sexy pose or wannabe sexy pose, and she forwarded it to everyone at the school and got into trouble for it, and she's come to regret it. And I guess she was part of a clique of mean girls, because again, that part they did not really explain very well. But yeah, she winds up getting ostracized by them. Don't know entirely why she cut her hair too, but anyway. Zach and Trini are not actually in detention at that point. Zach he's a student at Angel Grove, but he rarely goes. He has a sick mother. Trini we'll touch on a little bit later. Anyway, they're not friends at the beginning. They actually don't meet Zach and Trini until later when Jason, you see it in the trailer, Jason helps Billy out. Billy helps Jason out, kind of get around the ankle bracelet so he can be out a little bit more often than usual. And they go to this mine because Billy likes to sort of find rare gems, not gems so much as rare minerals and stuff from this rock quarry. And that's where they find the power coins, but they don't find the power coins right away. Jason basically kind of leaves Billy, and he finds Kimberly there, and she's taking she's basically swimming. Again, not exactly explained what it was she was doing. Basically she's doing some cliff diving into a little pond or a lake. Basically the scene only exists to get the Pink Ranger in her underwear, but other than that, it's then that Zack and Trini happen across it because Billy is using some makeshift explosives to blow a chunk away. That's where they find the power coins. They all try to escape at once in Billy's van, but the van is hit by a train. They're not injured because of the power coins. They wake up and they're in their homes and they all have the powers. Kind of after school, then they wind up meeting up again at the same quarry. Then they find the command center where Alpha 5 is. Alpha 5 brings Zordon. And Zordon has like real doubts that these are the Rangers. In fact, they can't morph right away. They have to train. And they still can't morph. And there's a big training montage. And they're still kind of having some problems. So Alpha shows them the Zords to hopefully inspire them to try... to inspire them to morph a little bit more, but it still doesn't quite work. Zack actually takes his Mastodon Zord out for a joyride, and that leads to Zack and Jason getting into kind of a fight, and Billy's just like, stop, stop, stop! And he actually morphs, and they're like, whoa. And then he returns to normal, but he can't like remorph, and basically this means Zordon is... he kind of gives up on him. Zordon says, you know, the only chance now to defeat Rita is, is for me to come back and take her on. These people are not worthy to be Rangers. And basically, Rita is after the Zeo Crystal, which again is, if you watch Power Rangers, fell into the Power Rangers lore there. The Zeo Crystal, Billy pieces together where it's located. It's actually located in a Krispy Kreme. So, yeah, the plot point of this revolves around Krispy Kreme. And Rita is fished out of the ocean. She's like in this mummified form. And slowly, surely goes around killing people and stealing like gold fillings because she needs to build Goldar. So she needs to get more and more and more gold. She sort of de-ages too along the way. It's sort of hard to explain there. Eventually, the Rangers do begin to bond a little bit. They bond over a campfire that they set up. They all share secrets, and this is kind of where Trini's backstory is. She's a new kid who's bounced around at a lot of schools. She's always the new kid, but so she keeps to herself, and she kind of likes it that way. Her family is very normal, and this is where the big revelation is. Trini is gay. It's not a huge hindrance, although it is kind of strange because early on in the film they do seem to set up that Zack has feelings for Trini, and I don't know so much they flirt, but they really don't. Like, he's trying to flirt with her, but she doesn't add to it. And then when that revelation comes, and so I guess in a way it makes sense. I'm not opposed to that idea at all. I think it's actually a good step in the right direction. Let's see. Anyway, later that night, Rita visits Trini. That's where you see the scene where they're in Trini's bedroom, and Rita is standing over her. Basically says, look, I'll kill you and your family if you don't tell me where this thing is. You need to lure your friends into a trap. She lures her friends into his trap. Billy gives up where the Zeo Crystal is located. Basically, Rita kills Billy. They take Billy's body back to Zordon, and they basically all kind of fess up that this was their fault. And this is somehow them fessing up and admitting, like, they got in over their heads, they didn't know what they were doing, is enough for the morphing grid to open. Zordon prepares to... It looks like Zordon's preparing to return, but in reality what happens is he enables Billy to revive, and he says, okay, you guys are ready to be Rangers now. Now, as this is happening, Rita assembles Goldar, the giant gold molten creature you've seen in the toys. And this does lead to a very funny scene, because Goldar is going through Angel Grove. This giant Goldar is smashing up the town, and you have Rita kind of walking in front of him going, Bring me to Krispy Kreme! And it's like, none of the kids, I found it funny. I don't know if anyone else in the audience did, but just the fact that, yes, this whole thing revolves around Krispy Kreme donut product placement. This leads to the big fight at the end with the Zords. The Zords, they form the Megazord. Eventually, they take down Goldar. Rita actually merges with Goldar briefly. They fight again. They kill Goldar. Rita is expelled. Basically, Jason says, give us the power coin. We'll take you to Zordon. We'll see if you can find some mercy. She says no. She lunges at them, and they smack Rita all the way into outer space. And that's kind of how the film ends with this last little bit, but yeah, they're smacking into the outer space. The next day, everything kind of starts to go back to normal. Film ends, and then we have a mid-roll credits scene in which a new student has shown up, and it's Tommy Oliver, except he's not there, and there's just this green jacket over the back of the chair. And then Billy's locker explodes again. Okay, so thoughts on the film overall? It was enjoyable. I know a lot of people are sort of dreading bits of it, like, oh, this is going to be all dark and gritty. Yeah, it's not. I mean, outside of maybe hinting at some alcohol, so like Trini has a glass bottle she's drinking from at one point. Don't know if it's necessarily alcoholic, but maybe you can add into that. Like I said, there's a completely inexplicable scene of Kimberly in her underwear. Doesn't really add anything. Other than that, though, it's like I didn't find it too terribly dark and gritty. Dark in the sense of lighting, I guess, but it wasn't too terrible in that sense. I actually like the idea that the Rangers are not all friends. Again, that was if you ever watched the TV show, it was one of the weird things. Like, they were all friends, they all seemed to know each other, and they all were in every sort of activity imaginable. Like, not only was Jason a martial arts fighter, he was also possibly on the basketball team, and they were all volunteering on some other thing. And Kimberly was a gymnast who was also volunteering at all this other stuff. And like, I kind of like the idea a bit more that they were separate and they began to kind of come together and gel. I also like that, again, they're not perfect teenagers in any stretch of the imagination. They're much more like actual teenagers, where they are, like I said, they're not volunteering for everything. They're not doing every other activity together. That, basically, you get the idea that they had their own lives before this, and now they have to work. Now their lives are different from it. Rita's pretty. She's all right. I mean, Elizabeth Banks is kind of hamming it up, but again, the villains are kind of underdeveloped. Zordon. Bryan Cranston is pretty good in it. Again, there's a little bit of him kind of constantly groaning over the Rangers a bit more. That was a little bit of a downer, but like I said, not enough to really destroy the film in any stretch of the imagination. It was really enjoyable. Probably the biggest complaint overall is, I think it's the same complaint a lot of people are having, is this thing is 2 hours long, and the Rangers really don't become Rangers until the 80, 90 minute mark. And yeah, that is kind of a bit of a detriment to this. A couple of the kids who were in the theater had noticeably fallen asleep by the time the film ended. So yeah, that's not necessarily a good thing. So I would say overall, I would probably put Power Rangers into a solid B state. Like I said, I'd give it a B. I don't know if I'd quite go into A territory. I wouldn't put it that high, but I can't quite drop it down into a C either. So I think B would. I had fun. Okay, trailer time. So right off the bat, we only got one new trailer, so this is really going to go by quick. We have Ghost in the Shell, Fate of the Furious, King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, Alien Covenant, And now our one new trailer we got out of this, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. I mean, it looked like a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I'm not the biggest fan of that franchise. I I kind of thought the first film was a little overrated. And last but not least, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And yes, I have seen the Justice League trailer, but that was not before the film. In fact, that just dropped today as I'm recording this Saturday afternoon. So, okay. Next video is going to be the random trade review on Superman Adventures Volume 1. Video after that will be the WrestleMania predictions show. After that will be the NXT show, NXT TakeOver recap and review, and then after that will be the WrestleMania recap and review. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that. I should be able to at least be able to watch WrestleMania this Sunday. Or not this Sunday, but the next Sunday actually. Should be able to watch WrestleMania. I don't know, I might have to delay that review and just shoot it on Monday though, because it looks like it's shaping up to be another 7-hour program. See you all next time.